let's now understand the muscles and muscular system which are going to help in locomotion of the vertebrates. So yes, muscle is a specialized tissue of mesodermal origin. Muscles are originating at the mesoderm, from the mesoderm. We know when an embryo shows development, the body cells are arranged into three distinct body layers, namely an outer ectoderm, an inner endoderm, and between the two layers we see development of mesoderm, whereas between the mesoderm and endoderm we see presence of coelom, that is a body cavity which helps in growth of many inner organs. About 40 to 50% of the body weight of human adult is contributed by muscles. So we have large number of muscles which are contributing to bulk of our body mass. The muscles have special properties like excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity. So here on the screen you can actually have a look at ultrastructure of a muscle. That is how the muscular system is organized. Muscles, muscle cell bundle, the individual muscle cell, membrane, inside the myofibrils, which are the fibrillar structures which are as a whole forming the muscular system. So based on their structure, location and function, there are three types of muscles, namely the skeletal muscles, namely the visceral, smooth and cardiac muscles. Yes, we have to understand this. The smooth muscles are also known as visceral muscles, and definitely the last one, cardiac muscles. So yes, these are the three types of muscles we have in us. The cardiac muscle, characterized by this type of ultrastructure, skeletal muscles, which are also characterized by such an ultrastructure, and the smooth muscles characterized by such ultrastructure. So yes, that is how the skeletal, cardiac and smooth muscles look like. Let's now get into the details of skeletal muscles, which are large in number, specialized in function, and very important for our survival and locomotion. So, the skeletal muscles are mostly attached to the skeleton and they control motor movements and posture. So definitely these are attached to the skeleton and controlling motor movement and posture. We know we have sensory and motor movements, right? The motor movements basically indicate response to a particular stimulus. So these movements are happening because of our skeletal muscles, which are directly attached to the skeleton, and they help in maintenance of our characteristic body shape. They exhibit transverse stripes and hence are designated as striated muscles. So skeletal muscles are also referred to as the striated muscle. And why so? Because striations or transverse stripes are visible in them. So that is how you can recognize a skeletal muscle fiber. When you observe it under the microscope, you'll find that there are transverse stripes. The visceral or smooth muscles are non-striated, so they do not display any striation in their ultrastructure, and these are broadly involuntary, unlike the skeletal or striated muscles. So where are these found? These are found inside the wall of hollow internal organ such as alimentary canal, blood vessels, and reproductive tract, which are spontaneously contracting to perform their function of transportation of substances, such as peristalsis. The alimentary canal shows peristalsis which are beyond our control. So yes, the involuntary muscles are visceral or smooth muscles, which are present at the hollow internal organ wall to perform their specific functions. Thereafter, we'll talk about the cardiac muscles. So here you can understand ultrastructure of cardiac muscle fibers. These are also striated, similar to that of the striated or skeletal muscles. And these are not under voluntary control. So we cannot control our cardiac muscles. The heart continues to beat 72 times a minute on an average, several million times throughout our life, and over 2 billion times in an average lifespan. So definitely we can understand that the cardiac muscles need to be more specialized and different from the rest. They need to be specialized in that they have to be supplied with energy more rapidly and efficiently than all other types of muscles, for as these are the hyperactive muscles of our body. So definitely the muscle fibers on our heart are different from the rest. They are striated and are not under any voluntary control. These occur exclusively in the wall of heart. You must be aware that the human heart is myogenic. So even if we take out the heart from body and supply it continuously with oxygen and blood, it can continue to function. And this function make heart transplantation possible today. So the muscles that act together to produce a movement are called synergists. This is a very important term in medical science. And the muscles that act in opposition to each other are called antagonists. So synergists are the group of muscles which will work as a unit to perform a characteristic bodily function. And antagonists are those who have different functions, completely opposite functions to each other. When one contracts, maybe two bones will come close to each other, and when the other one contracts, the bones will get away from each other. So during flexing of the forearm, which are the forelimbs of our body, modified as hands, the brachioradialis and brachialis act as synergist. So brachioradialis and brachialis, these are synergistic muscle that help the biceps brachii in pulling the forearm up toward the shoulder. So when you are pulling your forearm up toward the shoulder, there is a synergistic effect characterized by the brachioradialis and definitely the brachialis. Their synergistic effect will help you in bringing your forearm close to the shoulder, just the way you can observe on the screen. So an example of antagonistic pair is the biceps and triceps. The triceps relax to lift the arm, whereas the biceps contract to lift the arm. So definitely these are antagonistic. So yes, when we lift our forearm close to the shoulder, synergistic effects and antagonistic effects can be happening in our muscles. In the next part, we will be discussing more about the muscular system.